And On obviously is going to share some of his perspectives with you all as well. I am Brittany Terry. I'm the Director of Business Development West for Milbon. And if you guys don't know the man of the hour, on Coach Tran, who is has been working with Milbon for many years. He's also was a customer of ours prior to working with us. And also he has been a veteran DA judge and has attended DA events globally. So he's going to be able to share that perspective of being a judge and, attending. Also, he attended and was a judge at our pilot event that we had in the US market last year in the summer in New York City. But we're excited to bring it full scale to the market this year in Las Vegas. So welcome on, say hi on to everyone.
Hey guys, I hope you guys doing well.
Cool.
It's nice to be on this chat.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we can get started.
Yay. Hope everyone's doing well.
Actually, before we get started, there's a couple things I want to share too. So the first part of this call is to really talk about DA, just to give you guys a little bit of insight into what it is, because I think a lot of you may have questions of what is DA, who is it for? Am I, a right person to participate? So we're going to share some of that information. And then the second half is going to be where we'll be asking on questions about DA. I do have some questions that people have submitted prior to today's call, but we're also going to allow you guys to ask questions in the chat. So once we get to that segment, if you have questions, feel free to put them in the chat and we're happy to answer. We want this to be interactive and make sure that we answer all the questions that you guys have. But first, let's talk a little bit about DA and just share a little bit more about this event since it is new to this market. Okay. Sorry, guys, my computer is freezing. All right. Let's get into it. If it will work. All right, there we go. Okay, cool. So the first thing I want to show you guys is a little bit of a sneak peek as to what DA looks like. So as I mentioned last year, we had a pilot event with all of our independent educators, concept salons. We allowed them the opportunity to come and do like a mini DA. And so we have a video that we're going to show you guys so you guys can get a little sneak peek of what that looks like. And then we'll get into just discussing a little bit more about the event itself.
It's just been a blessing just to challenge myself as an artist.
All they're asking me to be is who I am.
I wanted to come be with other artists and just see some beautiful work.
Okay, so one thing that you guys can see, I feel like that showcases really well in this video, is the different types of artistry that were represented at this event. If you know any of the people that attended and participated, their work was so true to them. I think that's something that we really saw from the educators is it was very true to their signature style. And so there wasn't one specific look that we were looking for. What we were looking for was to ensure that that was represented. And I feel like the people that participated in the pilot event really showcased that. Wouldn't you say, On? Like that was one thing we were super impressed with is everyone's look was like very cohesive with who they are as an artist and what they showcase on their social media.
Yeah, for sure. I think there's such a broad spectrum of like different types of artistry in terms of like signature. Look, but yeah, I think one thing is like be authentic. Just you can see just even within this group, you can see the variety of it.
For sure. Definitely. Okay. So DA Link is going to be coming, like I said, to the US market this year, full scale. It is going to be on Monday, October 19th, 2026, and is going to be hosted in Las Vegas. So we're super excited. I feel like it's a very easy, accessible place for you guys to attend. Also, we know Vegas is fun, so you guys can make a little trip out of it and stay and enjoy yourselves as well. I'll be sharing more details about this, but we at least wanted to start to make sure you guys have the date and the location set. But let's talk a little bit. Oh, actually, before we get into that, let's also talk about the judges because this is another exciting part of DA. So we have On, who is one of our judges, our global creative director. We have Peck. He is from Korea. He is a celebrity stylist, has multiple salons in Korea. He's also been a judge for DA. We have Lucas. Lucas was our winner from the pilot event that we had last year. He put so much effort into his look. It was incredible, like very well deserved. So I'm excited for him to be a part of it. And then we also have Kat. She's from Germany and she is their global color muse. So I feel like we have a really good range of judges for this competition. But again, let's talk about DA. So first and foremost, what does DA stands for? It stands for designer's ability. But I think as the conversations that I've been trying to have with stylists is for them to really understand, in my perspective, of DA is so, it really is tried and true to who Milbon is and what we want to provide for the industry. I feel like it is all about providing more than just products. Like we're committed to supporting stylists in every aspect. And I know a lot of you guys are customers because I see a lot of you guys that are here and I know a lot of you. And you guys know that Milbon is all about supporting you in every aspect of your business. We want to inspire growth and creativity and bring stylists together and create this sense of community and also provide healthy competition. I think that not to knock the other competitions in the industry, but I think we really don't see that in the other competitions that are available. I think this is more like community building, and that's my favorite thing about it. I will say all of us that participated in the pilot DA, like it was very emotional for a lot of us, and it really brought everyone together. And instead of everyone feeling like they were working against each other, everyone was helping each other. There was like a prep day, and a lot of the stylists were at the Milbon Academy doing the prep for this event, and they were, helping each other. It wasn't like they were working against each other. And we also really just want to help you guys to challenge yourself and gain recognition. But I think the biggest thing is the connection to it and having this, connect with professionals and inspire yourself, I think is the biggest thing that you will get from this particular competition. But what is DA Link? So it's a global platform for stylists. This is something that we have been doing in other countries for many years. It's just new to the US market, but it's not new to Milbon. So we want to challenge participants to think about their artistry and think about personal branding and social media and all of those things and the work that you want to be known for. So we want you to, through creative expression, your technical execution and your professional development, we want you to showcase your artistry through, like I said, what your personal brand is. And we're kind of going to talk about that because that's really the concept of what DA Link is. But I think the biggest thing to hone in on is this is a platform for every single site. It doesn't matter what your background is. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out where this is that's unmuted. Sorry, guys. If you're unmuted, I'm trying to go through and mute everyone. There we go. Okay. There we go. I think On, you're just going to have to unmute yourself because I just muted everybody.
Got it. Britt, you're frozen.
No. Okay, so while Brittany is frozen, oh, there she's probably off and then back on again.
Yay!
Hi. Well, hey, let's just talk about, the DA link while she is.
I have no idea what happened. This
All
is,
good.
yeah.
It's technology.
Okay, I'm going to share again. Sorry, guys. Okay, so the concept of this year's event is online to offline. So what, you guys, I'm telling you, I'm like technically struggling today. My computer keeps freezing. I've had no issues with it all day until right now, of course.
You're doing
Okay,
great.
thanks. So online to offline, the concept. So what is that? What does that mean for you? We know that right now in today's landscape that clients are finding stylists really majority through social media. So when you think about that, I think the question that you should ask yourself is your social media representing yourself? Is it representing your signature style? Do you have a signature style? Is it attracting the clients that you want to attract? Those are the things to think about. We want to help you guys on this journey, whether you have that signature defined look, you want to level it up, or you don't, but just to define it and to showcase that a little bit better through social media. So it's really getting you guys to hone in on what your signature look is, what you're showcasing online, what your personal branding is, and then also utilizing that and showcasing that behind the chair. I think a lot of times clients will see something and see a stylist online and they'll expect a certain result that they're going to get, right, from what they see. And so it's how well can you showcase that on social media, but also bring it behind the chair. But I think there's also one element to that is including that you're customizing it towards every single client. And that's something that I think On does really well is he has a very defined signature look and you can tell that it's his work when you see it. But he also is ensuring that each cut is customized towards every client. And that's the most important thing because having a signature style is important, but you also need to take into account each client that's sitting in your chair. So it's really helping you guys to hone in on what that is and then also making sure that you're customizing everything to the people that come and see you and sit in your chair. On anything you want to add to that? Or you feel like we're good?
Yeah, so I mean, just in case, like the US term of like online, offline is like basically social media to real life situation. So I think the best way to explain about online, offline is like what you present online, which is like your social media, your blog, or your Instagram and your website. Um, and then what you translate to like Brittany said that you have to customize everyone's look is pretty much your interpretation and what you present online, which is your social media. So yeah, it's a really good way to transform or translate what you did online to offline. So this is what it means.
Cool.
Awesome.
Okay, so the other thing about the competition is it is two parts. So yes, we have the live portion that's going to be in Las Vegas, but there's actually a segment that comes before that, which is the part one submission, which is your online submission. The biggest thing that I want to hone in on this is really honestly what you're doing anyways behind the chair if you're creating content and posting on social media. So it's really not anything different than what you're doing. So the step one is the photo and video submission. I'm going to show some examples here shortly, but we want you to submit photo and video that's showcasing what your signature artistry is. And then the step two, like I said, is the live portion of the competition where you will be competing live and you're going to bring your vision to life on a live model. So the biggest thing is you're going to have two different models. You have to showcase two different models for this because we want to see what your work looks like, with different models showcasing different things. But again, just note that there is a two-part competition to that. And we have some segments that we, at the end of this call, there's a QR code that you guys can scan to learn a little bit more, but we have some sessions that help you guys prep for part 1 and part 2 of your submission. So we're really supporting you guys along the entire journey. So let's show you guys just a couple submissions so you guys can kind of see visually like what that looks like. It doesn't have to be something that's professionally done. That's the biggest thing I want to make sure you guys understand is there are people that have help with these submissions, and there's a lot of people that do this on their own, but it doesn't have to be anything crazy editorial or anything like that. We just want to we want to ensure that it's showcasing your look. So this particular entry, you guys can see their online photo and then the photo from their offline. And then I will show the video from their video submission. Okay, one thing I thought that was really cool about this particular submission is they kind of showed more of their like creative artistry in the video submission, but then I feel like the online and offline submissions were very like tried and true to their signature look. But I think the one thing that you can see from the video submission and the online versus offline is there's a consistency throughout, right? There's harmony between all 3 pieces. And again, I think that's something that will share once we get to the Q&A segment of like what they're looking for is you can kind of showcase something that's a little bit more artistic as long as it's still reflecting like who you are in your signature style. Any thoughts on that with like just this particular submission that stood out to you?
I mean, I can't wait to get into it, but I think I know I have so many advice to give you guys because I've seen a lot of submissions and I've seen a lot of like from different countries. I would say storyline is the key. Have a storyline. Like don't just like show images of like whichever, just have a storyline of like who is your client. That's really it helps. So.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. All right, we have one more submission to show you. Okay, so this is another submission. This is actually a winner, I think, from 2024. Maybe was it a winner the year that you were there on, or no?
I think so. So was the last one.
Yeah. Okay.
Or runner up or something.
Yeah. Maybe it was a runner up. I couldn't remember, but I love this submission. I think it's stunning. But again, online, offline photos, and then let's show the video.
Flexible. Unique. Lovely. Liberty. Youth. Fully.
Amazing. Also, I love this one. This actually reminds me a lot of Peck, one of our other judges, like his signature style. Like one of his things that he's known for is like embracing baby hairs and like utilizing them to enhance people's features. So it kind of reminds me of that. So again, you can see this like consistency. You can see the story throughout. I think it's stunning. And again, the other thing that I feel like I just have to mention this is because DA has been a part of other countries for so long, I feel like over the years it's gotten better and better. Like the submissions are better, like people know what to expect, all of the things. I do feel like the video submissions are very editorial, but again, it doesn't need to be that. You can really showcase yourself in a very simplistic way. So don't let that deter you. Like I said, I know a lot of you guys are on this call and I see the content that you're creating. What you guys are already doing is fabulous for your submissions.
Flexible.
Okay. Let's talk about awards because, you know, you're not just doing this for funsies, right? You guys are putting a lot of time and effort if you decide to commit to DA. And so there are some really cool prizes for you guys. Yeah, I was going to say something, but forget it. So anyway, so we have a couple different options for prizes. We've got our Grand Prix Award, which we're going to talk about here in a minute, which is like obviously the Mac Daddy prize for DA. And then we've got 4 different judges awards. So on, Peck, Lucas, and Kat are going to choose their favorite. So there will also have, you know, opportunities for other winners throughout that, other than just the Grand Prix. Okay, this is the coolest part to me, you guys. I don't even think a lot of you guys that are on this call are aware of this, but there's an audience award. So one thing that I think is very different about DA with other hair competitions is your friends and your family can come and watch you and support you. Also, stylists from your salon can come and watch and participate. So they don't have to be a hairstylist. They don't have to be in the industry. Anybody really can come and watch. So I think it's very cool because stylists can come and watch and get inspired. Maybe you're not ready to participate this year, but you want to see what DA is all about. You can come and be an audience member at this event. But also, like I said, your family members, your friends can also join, and then they will get to go around and look at all of the submissions and then vote on their favorite looks as well. So I think that's really cool and exciting. But the Grand Prix Award. So the Grand Prix Award winner will receive a plaque. And then they'll also have an opportunity to represent the US at a DA Link International competition in Japan on November 17th this year. So please note that if you are participating in DA and coming in October, you probably should make sure, just in case, that you're available on November 17th, a month later, because if you win, you will be going to Japan to compete there. And Milbon is covering your costs for that trip. So that will be something you'll get to represent the US, which I think is exciting, and travel internationally and see an event in Japan as well. And then we're all going to dinner the night of the event as well. So it'll be a fun day followed by a fun night. And then a month later, you're going to be jet setting off to Japan to attend DA there. Okay. So I will say, Steph, there's some questions in there, right? Maybe we should do a couple of those really quick before we get started, just to see if there's anything about DA specifically. Did you see anything that I didn't cover that was asked?
Yeah, sorry. I was trying to figure out how to unmute myself. Yes, really the only question that we had is just clarify maybe one more time about the video submission. You know, because the 2 that were shown were super editorial and amazing.
Yeah.
But what are some other examples of how people can showcase their own story as an artist in a video?
Yeah. Actually, like the one that I am thinking about right now was one of the attendees from the pilot event. They made a video of their prep day for the model that they were prepping for their part 1 submission. And it was honestly just a very simple video of them doing their prep for their part 1. So again, it doesn't have to be anything super editorial. It could be you behind the chair doing what you do every day. It could be you showing your prep for either your part 1 submission or getting ready for whatever it is. It doesn't have to be this editorial thing. We just want to make sure that, again, like you're showcasing in that video what is your signature look and what is your artistry. So there just needs to be some cohesiveness I guess, in harmony between like all three pieces. But again, does not have to be editorial. Think about like when you guys are posting on social media, right? And you're posting like a quick 30-second, 1 minute video that you want to go post on your feed. It could almost be something as simple as that. So, like I said, what you're really already doing. So don't overthink it. It's very simple. And yeah, just like I said, as long as there's harmony across the pieces, it's good.
We did have one other question that I would like for either Brittany or On together to address is a question of competing as a team versus an individual. And so I know the answer is we have an individual that competes as well as they can have an assistant, but maybe either of you can go into the why, why we do it that way.
Why we like allow them to have, wait, ask the question again.
Sure. So why are we only we don't have team submissions, right?
Oh, yeah,
It's an
yeah, yeah.
individual submission.
Yeah. I think because if you think about it, this is really focused on like your individual artistry, right? So when you have a team, it's hard to showcase what that artistry is when you're having multiple people because ideally everyone is unique, right? We all have our own individuality. So I feel like if we did it in a team, um, like if we did it with that, I don't feel like we would be able to really get the grasp of what someone's signature look is. Because then you're having, again, different people's perspectives and their own defined style throughout that. Anything on that you want to add? Like, wouldn't you say that's really the biggest thing is we want to see everybody's individuality and their own unique artistry?
Yeah, I think for this event is mainly focused on individuality as far as like signature looked, but it's
Yeah.
not a bad idea. I mean, maybe it can be introduced later on in the future. But like, yeah, I think it's as of now, it's just the main focus on individuality and their own signature look and how
Yeah,
they transform into
for sure.
reality.
Yep. And I think the other thing too is the concept of DA link
Hmm.
changes throughout the years based on like what's going on in the industry. But again, we're really trying to help support you guys in what's happening now. And that really is like, again, branding, social media, your own personal branding, all of that. So that's really what we're focusing on for this event. Okay. Any other questions? I'm just kind of going through.
Is it just cut and style or is color necessary?
Good question. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad. Okay, so color is not required. Obviously, I know a lot of you are colorists. So if that is your thing, we definitely want you to showcase that. It's just the day of portion is 35 minutes. So we know that you can't accomplish really any color within that timeline. So you will do your color prior to the live event. However, with that being said, color is not a requirement. So if you're like a cutting specialist, then you can come and showcase your cutting and your styling. So like I said, cutting it and I should also add cutting is required in the 35 minutes. But again, we know that you guys can't do like a full cut within that time. So it's more like finishing and styling. But cutting is required, obviously styling is required, and then color. If you're a colorist, please showcase that because that obviously is true to who you are, but it's not a requirement. No.
But it does help.
I mean, it does. It
Yeah,
definitely,
it
for
really,
sure.
really does.
Yeah.
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 And I think within that 30 minutes of like cutting, detailing is really great because you really like to really get to see the details. I would
Yeah.
say do your overall cutting. I think the detailing is very important. So therefore you can see a person's artistry and a person's understanding of detailing, which is really good. And then styling comes after that. So yeah,
Yeah.
we look at for that stuff.
Okay, cool. Oh, there's one more question too that I see, and I think we got them all. Models. Yes, I see everybody's coming in with the models. So you have to provide your own models. So for your part one and your part two, finding the models is your responsibility. So we can give you guys suggestions. There's actually a company that we utilize for models. We can give you that recommendation, but it will be on you. And again, just to remind you all, the part one and the part two submissions have to be different models as well.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay, let's get into it.
Mhm. Let's do it.
Okay, Let's do it. So I have a couple questions that I'm going to start with first. And then if you have questions specifically for On, feel free to throw those in the chat now. I'm going to ask him a couple questions first, and then we'll come back to the chat and revisit and see what you guys want to know.
Yay.
First question. How is DA Link different from other competitions?
From what I witnessed, especially with the different countries, I've been to Taiwan, been to Shanghai, been to Korea. It's just the community is very supportive. I think even though it's a competition, it's a supportive.
Oh gosh, is he frozen now or is it me?
Oh no, it's On, not you. I can still
Oh
hear
my
you.
gosh. I was like, not me again.
No, you're good. You're good. Oh, but we want to hear what he has to say.
I know.
Oh, goodness. On, we need you.
I'm sure Jen is probably already texting him.
Yeah, she's probably on it. While we have this quick moment, yep, she said on it in the chat. Oh wait,
Okay.
I see his little avatar. Yes, no.
Okay, I have something I can share really quick,
Okay,
just
beautiful.
since he's not here. So I think, again, I don't want to knock any other competition that's out there, but I think this is the most relatable competition in the industry. I think it's the most community building. Like I said, it provides a platform. It really meets you where you're at for all levels of artistry. And I think that's really cool and unique. Number one, it's not based on looks that you're not going to utilize behind the chair. So it's not so creative that you're, it can be fun, but it's not super realistic, right? And then also, it's not based on likes and popularity and things like that. It's really about like your artistry and how well you are communicating that on your social media and then also delivering that behind the chair. So I just think it's something that is the most relatable. It helps you to grow as a stylist. It helps with the things that are important to be successful in, the industry today. And like I said, I think it's also just very community building. Oh, hey.
Sorry, I don't know what happened.
I'm not
Man.
gonna lie. I just have to say I'm kind of glad it was you this time and not me, and now I feel a little better.
Okay, so the difference between the other competition with this, I feel like what I witnessed with the other countries that I've been to is that the sense of community doesn't end after the competition. It continue, Melbourne continue to support the artists and the artistry, and it really helps the individual artists to like grow and do other things so they can come education. It's just there's so much more besides the education, so it doesn't end after after the competition. So that's why I witness.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Mhm.
Cool. Okay. Why should someone compete in DA Link?
I think it's a really good opportunity to showcase your work, and I think DA Link is so new to the US. I think there is a sense of like, well, what is it, and how would it benefit me? Because I'm being honest, like, why would I take this time out to compete in something that I would just get a pat in my back, you know? I think with this, it's like, again, a community of like um, the US, Melbourne, supporting the artists after the competition. So there is a lot of like community that comes in afterwards the competition. And also, hell, it's a really good way to enter yourself and go to Japan. I want to enter so I can maybe try to go to Japan. Just kidding.
I know. Yeah.
It's really cool. I mean, I think yeah, it's a really fun way to showcase your creativity. So
Yeah. And get a little street cred, you guys. DA is big globally. It is like a very big competition. And I'm so excited for us to finally have it here. And I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure we may have this again sometime.
oh, for
Okay.
sure. I mean, I think, but also another thing is like
Yeah.
this is just one of the first, pretty much the initial first one.
Mhm.
If it's the best time to enter it it'd be this year because
Yeah,
you're gonna
I
have a
agree.
lot of good competitive advantage.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like the event that I went to last year in Korea, it was 117 participants.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So there was a lot of stiff competition. It was really great, but this year it's going to be on a little bit smaller of a scale. So I feel like it is a good year to
Mhm.
join for sure. Okay, so as a judge, what do you expect to see from the participants?
I One thing that I really do notice, the ones that really win the awards
Yeah.
really tells a story. Either a story about your artistry, a story about your client. And
Hmm.
I don't know, it can be a simple story of like she gets ready in the morning and she leaves to work, but in between that, her hair changes. Whatever it is, it has some storyline, and you don't really have to think so hard into it. Like, really show you what your signature look is, and if it's something like a really beautiful bob, but like shown a way where it really emphasized the cut, the color, and it just really brings out the essence of the haircut or the hair style.
Hmm.
But a storyline really helps to keep us engaged into like, oh, that's so interesting. That's um, intriguing, and it just really helps us to like keep on wanting to know more. And then how you present yourself offline, which is on your social media, on photo shoots or whatever it is, and your video. Make sure you translate what you present on your offline into um, on offline. So
Yeah.
that's very, very important that it's just like it has to like execute correctly or execute, it has to speak similar language. Um,
Hmm.
that's one thing that I really get to see because one cannot be too crazy and the other one's so tame. And it just has to like translate like why you picked this for this client because of, features and all that stuff. So it's just, yeah, it
Yeah.
just have to speak clearly throughout the whole
Yeah.
entire message.
Yeah. One thing that you said that kind of made me think of a really cool story very quickly that I thought was um, just kind of something about talking about the community building of it and the emotional aspect of this competition is there was a gal who participated in one of the DA events in Korea. And she talked about how, as a hairstylist, especially being Asian, like her career path wasn't super respected by her family. And then she participated in DA and ended up winning. And like her family finally like was able to like recognize like how talented she was. And she felt like she got like some credibility with her family. So I feel like as everybody's journey looks different, right? So why you want to compete and all of those things could look very differently. Like I think for this person, it was like, I want to compete and like show that, I am, what I do is like very important and I'm really good at what I do for my family and things like that. But again, some of you may want to do it because you're trying to hone in on like your signature style or build on your branding or whatever it may be. There's a lot of different reasons of why you want to participate. And I also feel like the judges really get to see that because there's a lot of storytelling that goes through. So like to, talk about of like what he expects to see as the judges, I think having that storytelling will also be really beneficial to you in your submissions. Um, and it just creates that emotional connection as well.
Mhm. Agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, as a judge, what is more important? Creative expression? As a judge for DA, actually, let's like really for this particular competition, creative expression or showcasing signature style?
I think both. Because showcasing your signature, your style doesn't mean that you don't be creative. I think you can be
Yes.
creative because that's part of the expression. So I think both are married so intertwined, and there's really no fine line, or black and white into that. I think both is very important. I think, again, like it has to speak from social media onto your real life. I think that's the connection has to be there. I think that's the most important thing. But both are very, very important.
Yeah, for sure. I think obviously the creative expression, as long as your signature style is showcased in the creative
Mhm. Yeah,
expression, then both of them is, I feel like, the most ideal, right? You get to
yeah.
showcase both.
For example, I can't be showing um, blue green hair, and then my actual clientele are not
Right.
like that. So
Yeah.
it just has to resonate. If my
Yeah.
clientele has blue green hair, and then my real, they have to relate. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right, we're gonna do this last question. We'll go to the chat and see if there's anything in there. So if you guys have a question, please put it in there. And then I do have some more questions as well, but we'll take
Mhm.
a little pause and check the chat questions here in just a minute. But can you share a memorable moment from one of the previous DA Link events that has like maybe stuck with you?
Oh, I mean, there's quite a few. I think the one from Shanghai, there were so many people who compete, and they all want to have some kind of like recognition and some kind of like um award to showcase what hairdressing it is to their family, like what you mentioned, or to their friends. And I think in sometimes in other countries, hairdressings are not really, respected as much as it is here. I mean, I've seen how people charge and what they do, and it's not like a respectable thing. And I think it's getting better. But seeing them having the creativity and how much hard work they do to present this and to do the videos, to present their offline, and then they have the model there, and it's just every aspect of it. I mean, walking through the audience, I felt goosebumps of like, oh wow, this reminds me when I was like an assistant, or when it reminds me when I first started out, or it reminds me of like last week when I was on a photo shoot trying to create something. So it just brings back memories of like every single aspect of my career, not just the beginning, not just the middle, but just every part of it, because creativity is runs still runs through everything I do. I mean, not necessarily on a daily basis, but like on photo shoots or on clients who experience some things.
Yeah.
But also, I can't really pinpoint one thing, but I do love the fact that there, especially all over in Asia, there are less women compete in this than men. And then it was very refreshing for me to see that the few women that compete, they actually want something, and I'm like, I'm all for that. I'm like, yes, I love to see diversity. I love to see, um, I like to see diversity. I like to see a women doing hair. You'd be surprised. There's so much men doing hair in Asia country than women. Um, and for me to see that they're on the same level, I'm just so proud. So that of all thing brings back a lot of great memories. So in that sense.
Amazing. Cool. All right, let me see what we got going on in here. All right. Okay, so this was a question. Where will the competition be at in Vegas? It's going to be at the industrial space. We will send all this information out to everyone who's on the call, so you guys will have all of that. Let's see. Yep, we got that. I see some of these were already answered, so I apologize.
It's not on the
Um,
strip. It's off the strip.
yes, yep.
Hmm.
Okay, this one stuff I'm trying to like make sure. Jen, I see you answered some of these. I'm trying to think here if we should ask on these. Okay, I think this one could be a good one on for you to share your perspective. I saw Jen answered it too, but when you're doing the cut and style on stage, are you looking for something that is technically different or innovative, or you're just looking to be able to have a cohesive story? Can you explain more about what you're looking for in that portion?
I also forgot to add um, makeup is very important. You don't have to do the makeup, but having their face done is very important. Um, and I also think having an outfit. So it's about your own interpretation of that client, and for an whole overall photo, I mean, and look of hair, makeup, clothing. It's very important. It's a whole presentation. Um,
Yeah.
so whereas wherever if it's like really funky or just very commercial, whatever it is, just make sure that it speaks the same language as what you present offline. Um, but yeah, I think I what was the question again? I just want to add that in there.
Great. I forgot
Makeup,
to.
and outfit.
But that is important because it's all part of it, right? But
Hmm.
the question is, when you're doing cut and style on stage, are you looking for something that is different or innovative, or are you just looking to for them to like share their cohesiveness of their story? So
Cohesiveness of the stories. So if
yeah.
you're gonna, yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah, you guys don't have to like, yes, it's a competition and yes, it's live, but it's not like this thing where you're like trying to come on and like do all these crazy things and like showcase this crazy artistry. It's not that. We literally just want you to do your finishing, your cutting, your styling, all the things, make it very you. It's not showcasey, right? Yes, from Vegas, but it's not that vibe. So yeah, just showcase your signature look on your model. That's all we're looking for.
Mhm. But bring your best
Um,
game, you know. So
yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a competition at the end of the day, right? Like you gotta show us a little bit.
mhm.
Okay, cool. So, okay, we don't have any more questions in the chat, so we're just gonna keep moving on. So, what is your signature style and
Oh,
how did you discover it? For those that don't know.
oh my gosh. It's a long time ago, many years now. I think I, I, it came from a Kate Moss photo back in the '90s because I went to fashion before I did hair, and I always have that image pierced into my head of like this really disheveled um, femme, but yet femme, but yet messy and just undone kind of look where she can be really soft and feminine, but really tough. So that's my kind of signature. I like messy, undone, but soft and feminine. That she's cute, but she can kick your butt. I love that kind of look. And I think that over the years, it just evolved, and I put a name on it, so it became lived in hair. But it's evolving, and it's always evolving. And I think evolution is very important. But I think that's where it came from, and that's my
Love
signature
it.
look. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that look too. So good. I remember when you
Mhm.
showed me the Kate Moss photo that inspired you
Yeah.
too.
Oh, I guess it's like femme fatale. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good. Mhm.
Okay. How did lived in hair become your signature style? And can you share the branding process behind it?
I think I want it to be a look that I can replicate. So
Yep.
I try to understand how to recreate the haircut to everyone, because you can style to make it look lived in hair, but I feel like for clients to be able to replicate themselves, you have to give them a haircut that it's structurally lived in hair. So
Mhm.
therefore, if they don't do anything to hair, they can still have that lived in hair. But they can style it and then it'll be lived in hair. But structurally, you have to put that haircut into their hair. Um, and I guess doing what I do well, I just kept on going at it. And I think the more you keep on doing the things that you do well, you will get recognized for doing that look and having that signature look. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, you know, it's not like you're doing the same thing over and over, but I think like if you're going to go to a plastic surgery, you don't want to go to someone who does nose, eyes, boobs, and legs. So you want to go to someone who specializes in one thing. So I think it's one thing that's like very important to like specialize in something because afterwards you can always evolve. Does it mean that you stick to that look all the time? No, but you can always evolve.
True. I want to add something to that too, because what somebody said this to me when we were having a discussion about this, and it really stuck to me is like when you think about your favorite hairstylist right now, or like any of the great hairstylists, past, present, it doesn't matter. Like if you really think about it, all of them had something that they were known for, right? Past and present. Like all the ones that I can think of, all my favorite artists, like I'm like, oh, they're known for that. They're known for that. So I think that's something to think about is like all of the best hairstylists that we know, they all had something that was unique to them. And so that's something to think about is why is that important? Because look at how successful they've become by having that signature style, right? And having something that they're known for. So I think that is also a very good point too.
I can refer to fashion like the House of Chanel. You know, it's the
Yeah.
House of Chanel when you look at Chanel. Your House of like Vuitton. You know, it's just yeah, it's just
Yeah, for sure. Okay. How has having like your signature style, how has it helped you grow professionally, getting to where you are now?
I think it helps internationally to for clients to seek out that look and they will come to see you.
Mhm.
I think um, I don't know, but it's just stuff of like having that signature look. You get a lot more um, brands seeking
Yeah, true.
you out for other things. So besides clients, I feel like you can grow a lot in education in education part of it as well.
Mhm.
There's a lot because you become an expert in that look and people seek you for that. So whether it's end users like clients or professionals like hairstylists and or commercial. So whichever it is like they you know want to get your professional opinion or professional um, look. So that
Yeah.
that helps me in that sense of like I got other things besides clients with that.
Mhm. Very true. Okay, I feel like this one's a good one. For stylists who have not found their signature style yet, what is one thing that you think that they can do to help discover it?
My gosh, play, just play,
Yeah.
just play all the time. Keep on playing, um, and really look into what you like. If you like pink bubblegum hair, just play with that. It's there's always a market for everything. So it's just I think you just have to you don't know unless you do it. And I think
Yeah.
sometimes when we study something, if we just read about it until we actually put our hands on it, you never know if you like it or not. So I think
Yeah.
just a good time to play and discover it.
I also think too, like, what do you gravitate towards? What's something that
Hmm.
like is constantly pulling you, towards
Hmm.
like that, I think is step one. And like discovering what your signature style is. I'm sure there's something that really makes you excited and you're passionate about. I think obviously that's like the first place to start. So yeah. And like, what's your favorite thing to do behind the chair? Also, like, if you don't have a signature style, think about like, what is something you love to do? You could do all day, every day. I think that also is something to think about as well.
Hmm. Yeah, true.
Okay. This is a good one because I've also been
Hmm.
asked this. What if I'm a versatile stylist? How do I create a signature look without everything looking the same?
It can be a signature. A signature look doesn't mean like, oh, I just do bobs or I just do long hair. A signature look can be you create a lot of texture. It can be short, long, curly hair, straight hair. It doesn't have to be so in the box of like, I only do pixie haircut. It's don't limit yourself to that aspect. Your signature look can be, I do transformation and it doesn't have to be a look. It can be a concept, a concept of like how you do things, or how you talk to your clients. Your signature look can be like how you resonate with clients and how you um, talk to clients. And that will be your signature look where they feel very comfortable. I thought about this question, and also signature look doesn't mean that you don't do anything else. So it doesn't mean that just because I do lived in hair, I don't do a 90s blowout, or I don't do a straight bob, or I don't do updos, or I don't do men's haircut. Um, have a signature look, but also be versatile and be open minded to other things, because that's how you evolve. You know,
Yeah.
yes, I'm known for that, but like I also do other things. So you don't have to be stuck in that sense. And I feel like the minute you feel like you need to get stuck in that sense, that's when you don't evolve.
Yeah. I think also too, just to add to that, is the thing that's important with DA Link in general is also making sure that everything is consistent, yes, but it's also customized towards your clients, right? So that's another thing is like
Mhm.
on you have your signature look, but you also make sure that the length, is the right length for that client. It's the right shape, all of those things. So there's that signature style there, but it's customized towards your clients as well. So it doesn't all look exactly the same because if you think about it, it shouldn't because everybody has different skin tones and shapes and all of the things. So yeah, so I think that's also important to make sure that we don't want it to look the same. We want it to be your signature style, but also customized towards each client.
And also, if you do make it look the same, everyone's hair texture is so different. So that's the
Yeah.
hard part, is trying to make it look the same with different hair texture. And I think that's the underneath part that sometimes we don't overlook of hair texture and cowlicks and face feature and all stuff. It's That's the hard part. And if you do films or you do TVs, continuity is probably the hardest thing to do, because we have to take photos of like our clients' hair and makeup and looks to be able to replicate that the second scene or third scene and fourth scene. And that's very hard.
Yeah. Good. Okay. Many stylists feel that um, the need to like showcase everything, right? They want to be able to do everything, showcase everything, because I feel like that's how they're going to stay busy. But how do you think that them actually having a specific style can help them grow? It's not going to box them in.
I mean, when I first started out, I did everything. I worked 7 days a week. Um, yeah, I try to do everything, and I think, but the more you um, grow and the more you do things, I think if you can hone in to what you really want to do and what you love, because at the end of the day, it's like 12 hours a day and you do what you love, it doesn't feel like work. But if it's a 12-hour day of doing everything that you don't want to do, it's work. So think of
Yeah.
it that way. I think later on you can understand what is work and what is not work.
Yeah. Love that. Okay. I know we're a little over. I think this is our last question. And then we'll wrap up and ask any more. Let me actually, before we move on to this one, let me see if there's anything in the
Yeah,
chat.
actually, Brittany, I do have something that I would love for On to expand on if he doesn't mind.
Yeah.
Some questions people had is, can you talk about how to strategize on the day of the competition? Like, what do you do to prep? What do you do during that 35 minutes? How do you decide what you're gonna, what a contestant should showcase during that 35 minutes?
I think that 35 minutes should be detailing. The haircut should be already done, or or you can finish with face framing, or is something that helps to bring the look together. And then the styling is also very important. Or it can be like a simple thing as like product usage, how you put the products in to, let's say if someone comes in with no product and you put product in, and and it's all of a sudden it just like, oh wow, it becomes, it comes to life when you put products in. I think seeing that, how product usage and how you can transform that look with no product into product, that's also another good thing. um, but I would say if you can, try to get most of your bulk done and just details, so we can see. But don't do anything. Just, I mean, not, I mean, don't do nothing. Like
Yeah.
sometimes we see someone who just don't do anything. We're like, okay, well, did they do anything? Like, just detail is very important. Maybe it can be, I don't know, cutting the bangs off or something like that. But
Yeah.
also, when you cut bangs, when the makeup's done, just be a little, it's a little tricky. So just a little, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just
Okay.
get hair
Great.
all over the face. Yeah.
Right. Okay, wait, let me see. I'm trying to see. I think this is our, I'm gonna just, I think I'm skipping a couple questions just for timing because I have one last thing that I want to finish with, but I want to ask this question because I think this is very relevant to DA specifically. Do you have any tips on how someone could build their personal brand on social media? Oh, okay. We lost them again. Oh,
Oh,
there you are.
hi. I'm
Okay.
here.
Did you hear the question?
No,
Yes?
I'm sorry.
No?
Someone was knocking on the
Okay.
door. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. That happened to me earlier in the beginning. Someone rang my doorbell and it like totally distracted me. Um, do you have any tips on how someone could build their personal brand on social media?
Yes, I would say I used to say post a lot and post all the time. And I think it's different now. It doesn't have to be the amount of posts you do, it's the quality of posts you do. It's being interactive with stories. That's very, very important. I feel like people are more, because I know I don't, maybe people have such a shorter attention span these days with everything. So stories are very popular with engagement. Again, of course, posting is very important, but I feel like quality over quantities, it's more important these days. Something that's more relatable, being able to like relate to your audience, talk to your audience. I do struggle sometimes talking to my audience, turning on the phone and be like, "Hi guys," I'm just like, it's hard. um, but it's very important because people do want to
It
see that.
is.
They want to see that you're talking to them, even though you're talking to thousands of your followers, but you talking to them. Like they want you to be able to like, you're speaking to me. But having a signature style really helps. So therefore, there's some kind of consistency within your post of like, oh, she does this, she does as well with long hair, short hair, all the types of hair. I can relate to that. But if you have like all different types of work that you do on your social media, and it's hard to like, you don't know what you do really well, it's hard for people to relate and really get the professional look from you.
Yeah, for sure. Also, I have a tip.
Yeah.
Participate in DA, guys. That's like the one thing that you can do. Participate in DA, and it helps you build your brand and social media and all the things.
Mhm.
So, yeah. So before we finish up, I just looked, there's no other questions in the chat. So for closing, a couple things that I want to say, and I also want to give you the opportunity to close with everyone as well. But those of you that are on this call, you may be interested in participating, you may not, but there's so many opportunities, like I said. number one, we would love to have you guys as participants, but also if you want to come and just see what DA Link is all about, you can come as an attendee. So there's opportunities for you to join us and be a part of it, even if you're not participating. And then I see some of you on this call that are also salon owners. I posted something on my social media last week after a conversation that I had with a salon owner. She originally had kind of ruled out DA for herself. And so that was it. She was like, I'm not going to participate. And she didn't really think about it any further. But her and I had a discussion, and I was telling her, like, there is a stylist for DA within every single salon. Every salon has somebody that can benefit from this competition. So if you are a salon owner, whether you're participating or not, I think it would be great to think about who within your salon could really benefit from something like this. I think it's great for team development, and retention, like you're supporting your stylist. Also, it could be just something for team building for, just get somebody to DA and you guys can all rally behind that person and support that person and come and watch them and support them on the journey, I think is really awesome. So I want to say, whether you're a participant or not, there's so many opportunities to be a part of this event. And I think you guys just have to come and experience it to really see what it's all about and see the community that we have built within this. So I really, really hope to see a lot of you guys there or someone from your team. And then I also want to say there's quite a few of us at Milbon that I know you guys are connected with on social media. So if you have questions, feel free to reach out to the team. We've got a lot of things set up for you guys throughout the journey to ensure that you're supported along the process. So we've got calls set up. We've got one-on-ones with previous attendees. Like, there's, just so you guys know, you're not going to be alone in this. Like, you are going to have somebody helping you throughout the whole process. And you're not going to be doing this alone. So please reach out to any of the Milbon team members. We can direct you with who you need to speak to and provide you all the resources that you need. But On, anything you want to say to finish and thank all these lovely people for joining us today?
I say just do it. Have fun.
Yeah.
Come hang out with us. I mean, it's a great opportunity, and especially this first one, it'll be a really, really good time to enter. So I wish everyone best of luck, but that would be really, really cool if everyone can join us.
Yes. Sounds good. Okay, a couple of things that I am going to pull up. Okay, so your journey starts here, guys. You have a couple opportunities. If you are ready today to register, which I'm hoping that some of you guys are, I'm hoping we piqued your interest. You can scan this QR code and you can register to participate in DA. We also have an SMS subscription where you can go and put all your info and you can get text updates about everything DA related. So when we have a call, when we have office hours, anything that we have throughout this process, and you want to make sure that you're notified, you don't miss out on any of those updates, you can scan this QR code and enter your information, and then you will be on a little text subscription with us, and we'll send you guys all the DA things that you need to know. I just want to ask, is there any questions, any final questions from anyone on this call before we set y'all loose? I'm checking the chat too, just to make sure. All right. I think we did our job. I think we did it. Cool.
You did.
Thank you guys so much. And we hope to see you in Vegas. Mark your calendars and we will see you there.
Yes.
Thank you guys.
Thank you, man. Thank you,
Bye.
guys. Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Thank you.
See ya.